that the growth hormone function is to stimulate the growth in human body. Okay. So, but the excessive growth hormone can cause what I call it a disease. Okay. Too much growth hormone make your body grow faster than normal, so you will have different or abnormalities compared to normal persons. Okay. So there are two types of excessive growth hormone disorder. Okay. The first one occurrence in childhood, means it just happened during childhood. Okay. They will start happen during childhood. Okay. The second one, it just start after you reach the adult, adult adulthood. Okay. So there are two different disorder. Okay. Depending on when this what call it, this excessive growth hormone happens. Okay. If this excessive growth hormone happen during start from the childhood, so you can get what we call it as gigantism. Okay. So gigantism means the growth of your body faster compared to another children. Okay. So you will have bigger body and so on. Okay. The second one, it happen after you reach your adulthood. Okay. So this one we call it as acromegaly. Okay. Just remember, for the growth hormone, we have two types. One is start happening during childhood, which is we call it gigantism. The second one happen in adult. Okay. So this one we call it as the acromegaly. Okay. But for the deficiency of growth hormone can cause another disorder, we call it as dwarfism. Okay. So the growth hormone level in our body should be maintained in the normal range. Okay. If you have excess growth hormone, you can have gigantism or acromegaly, while if you have less growth hormone compared to normal person, you can get dwarfism. Okay. So this is the picture of these two or these three disorders relating to the growth hormone. Okay. So the first picture you can see, actually they are siblings, not siblings, they are twins. I think. Yeah. These two, boy and girls. Okay. Actually are twins. Okay. But you see the boy grow bigger compared to the girl. Okay. This because this boy actually they have he has what call it excessive growth hormone. Okay. During childhood. Okay. So it he experienced what we call it as gigantism. Okay, so the growth faster compared to his sisters. Okay, so you can see, yes, he is taller and he is bigger compared his sister. Okay, so this one example of the gigantism. Okay, the second we call it the second pictures show you the acromegaly. Okay, so if you see this lady, okay, at age 16, okay, actually she is just normal like other persons. Okay, but once it reach 52, okay, some of the part of her body actually become larger or grow abnormally. Okay, so this one we call it as the acromegaly. Okay, so for the third picture you can see the dwarfism. Okay, because the growth hormone in the body the level is less compared to normal person. So these two boys actually, no, these two men actually uh, has a smaller body and shorter compared to the normal person. Okay, this is the example of dwarfism. Okay, so we look into deep each of these disorder. Okay, first one we want to talk about the acromegaly and gigantism. Okay, so excess growth hormone leads to development of gigantism if hypersecretion is during early life. But this one actually is a rare condition. Okay, not many children experience this disorder. Okay, so most of the children they just grow as normal person. Okay, but some of them they have excess secretion of the growth hormone, so they have a gigantism. Okay, so the gigantism is symmetrical enlargement of body resulting in true giant with overgrowth of long bones, connective tissue, and visceral organ. Means for gigantism, the enlargement of your body that start from the childhood will result in uniform growth, the whole body. Okay, so everything in your body grow abnormally. Okay, that one is the what call it, the gigantism. Okay, because the process happen during childhood. Okay, so your body is still growing. That's why they can grow everything uniformly. So the whole body will grow uniformly. Okay, so everything will become bigger. That's one we call it as gigantism. So in contrast, for acromegaly, okay, as you know, for acromegaly, the excess of growth hormone happen after you reach the adult stage. Okay, so that means some of your bones in your body already stop growing. Okay, so not all of the part of your body will grow. It's just some part that can grow will start grow faster. Okay, so excess growth hormone during adult stage can cause acromegaly. Hip hypersecretion occurs after body growth has stopped. It means the body already stopped. Okay, because you already reached the adult level, but suddenly your body has disorder that cause the excess of the growth hormone. Okay, so not all of part of your body will grow because most of them already stop growing, but there are some tissue and some bone still can be grown. Okay, because the excess of this growth hormone. Okay, so the elongation of long bones not possible. Okay, so there is overgrowth of cancellous bones. Cancellous bone actually the bone, the soft bone. Okay, or like the bones in the joint. So the one that soft we call it as the cancellous bone. Okay, so this type of bone actually can still growing even the rest of your body already stop growing. Okay, so if you got acromegaly, just this part actually become bigger compared to other normal person. Okay, so this patient that has acromegaly will have protruding jaw, thickening phalanges, and overgrowth of visceral organ. Just some part of the body that will grow because the rest of them already stop growing. Okay, so there's a difference between the gigantism and acromegaly. So you just have to remember for gigantism, the whole part of your body will grow bigger. Okay, but for acromegaly, just some part of your body will become bigger. Okay, while the rest maintain as normal because they already stop growing. Okay. Alright. So this is the example of acromegaly. Okay. So you can see the picture. Okay. The first picture, the picture in A actually is the person before uh, explain the acromegaly. Okay. So just like a normal person, but once he explain the acromegaly, you can see there are some part of his body actually become bigger. Okay, for example, the phalanges. Phalanges actually the bones in your fingers. Okay, so the phalanges, the fingers become bigger, and also you can see the jaw also become bigger. Okay, so this is the characteristic of the person that has acromegaly. Okay, so this is this patient actually the Harvey Cushing first report case. Harvey Cushing actually is a very well-known doctor, okay, in America. Okay, so he discovered a lot of procedure, okay, specifically in the operation. Okay, so and he find out many disease, okay, and the way to treat this disease. One of them is acromegaly. Okay, and for this picture, okay, as you can see, this is the gigantism. Okay, actually these two boys they are twin. Okay, they have same age, which is 22 years old. Okay, but one of them has excess growth hormone secretion. Okay, started from the childhood. Okay, even he was children, he has a lot of growth hormone in the body. That's why he grow faster compared to his brother. Okay, even they are twin. Okay, as you can see, the whole body grow uniformly. Okay, so this one is gigantism. Okay, right. So this is about the disease related to the growth hormone. Okay, so just remember growth hormone, the one that secrete growth hormone is the pituitary. Okay, the anterior part of the pituitary will produce and secrete growth hormone. Okay, so another example of hormone that being produced by pituitary is ACTH. ACTH is adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay, adrenocorticotropic hormone actually hormone that stimulate your adrenal. Adrenal is organ that located above your kidney to produce cortisol. Okay, like I said last Monday, the function of cortisol is to stimulate the generation of energy via glycolysis in your body. Okay, so if your body need more energy for to do work, for example, for in the fight or flight situation, okay, so your pituitary will start releasing a lot of ACTH, okay, to stimulate your adrenal to produce cortisol. So this cortisol will stimulate the glycolysis process and produce energy that can be used by your body, okay, to do work. Okay, so but for the if you have a lot of ACTH, okay, adrenocorticotropic sorry, what you know, what adrenocorticoid, very hard to pronounce it. Let me check what's the name. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, okay, ACTH. If you have a lot of ACTH, what happen is you can get a disease what call it as the Addison disease. Okay, so the Addison disease actually happen because the some part of your adrenal, okay, you know the adrenal, the function is to produce the cortisol, okay, to produce energy for your body, and it is stimulated by ACTH or adrenocorticotropic hormone from the pituitary. Okay, but in addition disease, the patient they have a non-functional adrenal. Okay, so the adrenal is not functioning. Okay, so even the adrenal is stimulated by ACTH from pituitary, it still cannot producing the cortisol. Okay, so if your body need energy, then pituitary starts secreting ACTH and stimulate your adrenal to produce cortisol. But because the adrenal is not functioning, no cortisol being produced. Okay, so as the result, okay, your pituitary will continuously try to stimulate your adrenal because it said why the cortisol level is still low, so we have to keep pushing or keep stimulating the adrenal to produce cortisol. As the result, the amount of ACTH from the pituitary will increase in your blood. Okay, so once the level of this ACTH or adrenocorticotropic hormone increase in your blood, it will start complete have off target effect. Off target effect means it will bind to another protein that or receptor that it shouldn't that not designed for them. Okay, so this ACTH when they have too high, the level is too high, they start binding to non-relevant receptors. Okay, for example, for in this Addison disease, when the ACTH too high, it will start to bind to melanocortin 1 receptor on the surface of dermal melanocyte. Melanocyte is the cell in your skin. Okay, so because the level of ACTH high in the blood and it start to bind to non-relevant receptors, which is the melanocortin 1 receptor in the skin, then it turn your skin into dark color. It will darken your skin color. Okay, so the famous person that has this problem is JFK. Okay, if you know who is JFK, JFK was the president of America. Okay, so the president of USA has this Addison disease. But as you see from the picture, I think you are not realizing that these figures actually have this Addison disease because he was taking a treatment, we call it as the cortisol injection. Okay, so once you inject the cortisol in your body, because you know that your adrenal cannot produce cortisol, you inject the cortisol in the body. So the cortisol that being injected actually can give a negative feedback to the pituitary to stop the production of ACTH. Okay, because it said now the level of the cortisol in the blood is enough in the normal range, so you don't have to stimulate the adrenal by releasing the ACTH. Okay, so this cortisol that being injected actually will inhibit or regulate, negatively regulated the pituitary to stop or control the production of ACTH. Okay, so this is how this president actually control the Addison disease. That's why even he has this what the disease, you can see the skin is still not darkening, okay, because the treatment of cortisol, right? Okay, so this is the overall, okay, we get regulation of ACTH from the pituitary. Okay, if you can see, okay, like I said before, everything actually in our body, the hormone actually, the first production start from now, the first stimulation start from the hypothalamus. Okay, so for this particular hormone, which is ACTH, when your body need more cortisol, okay, so it will stimulate your hypothalamus to produce CRH. CRH, we call it as the cortisol releasing hormone. It's not a hormone, it's a hormone actually. Okay, then this CRH will stimulate the pituitary to produce ACTH or adrenocorticotropic hormone. This ACTH will stimulate adrenal to produce cortisol. Once the cortisol level get back to the normal, then this cortisol will inhibit back the pituitary and also the hypothalamus to stop the production of CRH and ACTH. Okay, so CRH is cortisol releasing hormone. Okay, sorry, not cortisol. I think maybe you have checked. I'm not sure the name. C is corticotropic or cortisol. I think corticotropic releasing hormone CRH. Okay, from the hypothalamus. Alright. So then we go to the hormone that being produced in adrenal cortex. Okay, one of them we have talked about it, the cortisol that produce the energy in the body. Okay, so the hormone, actually there are lots of hormone being produced by the adrenal. Okay, that being stimulated by the ACTH. Okay, one of them is cortisol. Okay, so all these hormone we call it as glucocorticoids. Okay, this hormone which include cortisol influence your body ability to convert food fuels into energy, play a role in the immune system inflammatory response, and help your body respond to stress. Okay, for example, you are being chased by the dog. Okay, so your body need energy to run because this stress situation. So your cortisol will help to produce the energy. Okay, so this hormone we call it as glucocorticoids, which is being produced by the adrenal cortex. Okay, cortex actually the part of the as this adrenal. Okay, we call it as the cortex. Okay, the outer part of the adrenal. Then apart from that, adrenal also produce another hormone. Okay, which is we call it as the mineralocorticoids. Okay, so this hormone actually the function is to regulate, okay, or to control the salt, okay, amount in your blood. Okay, the example of this hormone that classified in the mineralocorticoids is aldosterone. Okay, aldosterone, the function is to maintain your blood pressure. So how this aldosterone maintain the blood pressure? By regulating the amount of sodium and potassium in your blood. Okay, as you know, okay, if you have a lot of salt, okay, inside your blood, what happens is you can get the high pressure in your body. Okay, so you can have your body will what call it have what call it disease, we call it high blood tension, hypertension disease in your body. Okay, so this hormone actually the one that regulate the pressure in your blood. Okay, by controlling the sodium and potassium. Apart from that, the adrenal cortex also can produce androgen. androgen is a sex hormone for male. Okay, the function is to give the male characteristic to the male. Okay, but you produce in a small amount. Okay, they cause sexual development in men and influence muscle mass, libido, and sense of well-being in both men and women. Okay, even in women, the amount is very low. Okay, even lower compared to men, but still the woman has this androgen hormone that being produced by the adrenal to help the woman to have a sense of well-being. Okay, the function is to have a sense of well-being in the woman. Okay, but for in men, there are lots of function of androgen. Okay, for example, the development of muscle, libido, and so on. Okay, so this is the three class of the hormone that being produced by the adrenal cortex, and all of them actually can be stimulated by ACTH. Okay, just remember pituitary producing the ACTH, then ACTH okay, will go to the adrenal. Then we can stimulate all these three class of hormone in the adrenal. Okay. So when you have ACTH, actually it's not just about cortisol. Okay. You know that one of the adrenal hormone is cortisol, but you also have to remember there are a lot more hormone that being produced by the adrenal. Okay. So once you have ACTH, you also will experience the increase or the surge of the uh, level of the another hormone that being produced by the by the adrenal. Okay, so not just cortisol. Okay, so for example, when you have excess of ACTH, you can have a lot of androgen being produced by your adrenal. Okay, for men is I don't think it's a problem if you have a lot of androgen because it will give you the male characteristic. But if you are female, then you have a lot of ACTH. Then this ACTH will stimulate your adrenal to produce more androgen. Okay, so what happens is this female will have a male characteristics. Okay, so the male become masculine because the excess of androgen hormone because the pituitary secrete a lot of ACTH. Okay, so this is another syndrome which is we call it as adrenogenital. Okay, so the lack of negative feedback from cortisol result in aberrantly high ACTH, elevated level of other adrenal corticosteroid, which is adrenal androgen. Okay, like I said before, okay, not just cortisol being stimulated if you have excess of ACTH. Another hormone in the adrenal also will be stimulated. Okay, so it's dangerous because, for example, if you have a lot of ACTH, then your adrenal will start releasing a lot of androgen, for example, and also it will also start releasing more aldosterone. Aldosterone will help the body to reabsorb more sodium and potassium. What happens is it will increase your blood pressure. Okay, that's why the ACTH is very dangerous. They have to be controlled in the normal range. Okay, so the Zoom tell me that I have just 10 minutes. Okay, so maybe we go a bit faster. Try to finish as much as we can. Okay. Okay. So this is symptom for the excess of ACTH. Okay, you can have a problem with extremely fatigue. Okay. Then you can get weight loss and decrease in appetite, darkening of your skin. This one because this one the example of the Addison disease. Okay. Then you have low blood pressure, even fainting, salt craving, low blood sugar, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, abdominal pain, muscle or joint pains, and so on. Okay, so this is a symptom when you have excess ACTH. Okay, right. So we're done with this hormone from the pituitary. Okay, so I want to just actually for this, I want to continue with the thyroid and parathyroid. I think thyroid we already talked about thyroid a lot. Okay, but I just want to focus about the parathyroid glands. Okay, so at the back of the thyroid glands, okay, actually there are at the back of thyroid gland, yes. Actually there are other glands. We call it as parathyroid gland. Okay, so the function of thyroid gland regulate the metabolic rate, and for the parathyroid gland, it regulates the calcium level. Okay, so there are two different functions of this gland. Okay, the hormone that been produced by this gland. Okay, thyroid hormone to regulate your metabolic energy in your body atau metabolic process in your body. But for the parathyroid hormone, the function is to regulate the calcium. Okay, calcium is very important in body. Okay, first for the bone development and so on. Okay, but apart from that, calcium actually also regulate a lot of the signaling in your cells. Okay, without the calcium, many signaling mechanism will be affected. Okay, that's why the calcium level is very tightly regulated in your body. Okay, so the amount of the calcium level 1.2 millimolar in your blood. Most of the time, you just can have excess about 1.4 millimolar. If you more have calcium level more than 1.4 millimolar, what happens is you can die. Okay, because it will affect all the mechanism in your body. Okay, so this is the thyroid. Okay, from the front or from the anterior part. Okay, at your neck. Okay, above the trachea. Actually, you can see, you can recognize the thyroid gland. There are three loops. Okay, for the thyroid gland, but you cannot see the parathyroid gland. If you want to look at the parathyroid gland, you have to look it from the posterior part, from the back. Okay, so from the at the back of the thyroid gland, you can see there are four nodes. Okay, for the parathyroid gland. Okay, so just remember, thyroid gland you have three loops. Okay, at the back of thyroid gland, you have four nodes, which is we call it as the parathyroid glands. Okay, so this is the location of the thyroid and parathyroid glands. Okay, so the thyroid gland located at the base of the neck secrete iodine-containing thyroid hormone and calcitonin. Okay, regulated by negative feedback loop. Okay, then the example of the disease that can be related to this thyroid gland is the hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism means you have low level of thyroid hormone. Okay, caused by the one of them is by iodine deficiency. Okay, like we have discussed before, in order to produce the thyroid hormone, you need the iodine and thyroglobulin. Okay, so this iodine you need to oxidize. Okay, by thyroglobulin oxidase. Okay, then they will bind to the thyroglobulin by TPO. TPO is thyroglobulin peroxidase oxidase. Okay, so this what if you have a low of iodine in your body, then thyroid hormone cannot be produced. Okay, so then you will have a syndrome which is we call it as hypothyroidism. Okay, so this one we already talked about it. Okay, the mechanism of the thyroid hormone synthesis. Okay, in your body. Okay, so I don't want to touch too much on this one. Okay, okay, this is the regulation of the thyroid hormone. Okay, for example, if your thyroid hormone level, okay, in your blood fall below the set point, means it become lower, okay, compared to the normal range. What happen? It will stimulate the hypothalamus to produce hormone. We call it as the TRH or thyroid releasing hormone. Okay, so if you see the words of releasing hormone, actually all of them being produced by the hypothalamus. Any hormone that has words releasing, they are comes from the hypothalamus. Okay, the previous one we have CRH, corticotropic releasing hormone. Okay, also come from the hypothalamus. Okay, whatever hormone which is the name has releasing, they are from hypothalamus. Okay, so the hypothalamus will release TRH, thyroid releasing hormone. Then this TRH will stimulate pituitary to produce TSH. Okay, this one we already talked a lot. Okay, thyroid stimulating hormone. Then TSH will start stimulating the thyroid gland and it will produce the hormone and secreted in the body. Once the thyroid hormone level back to the normal, it will start to inhibit or negatively regulate the production of TSH and also TRH by affecting the hypothalamus and pituitary. Okay, so the whole mechanism we call it as a negative feedback mechanism. Okay, then we have parathyroid glands. Okay, so the function of parathyroid gland. Okay, and the location is at the back of your thyroid gland. Okay, to release parathyroid hormone in response to low blood calcium level. Okay, So target bone cells and kidney cells. Okay, actually parathyroid hormone actually they has effect on your kidney. Okay, so to stimulate the absorption of calcium. Okay, so there are two main the main organ targeted by this PTH or parathyroid hormone are bones and kidney. It also stimulates the conversion of vitamin D to calcitriol. Okay, so from here you can see the first one. This girl actually has a problem with the thyroid hormone. Okay, so this girl, she has excess of thyroid hormone. Okay, uh, then he has a goiter. Okay, you can see the enlargement of the neck. So the second picture showing you this boy actually has problem with the parathyroid hormone secretion. Okay, so she has low level of parathyroid hormone. Okay, that's why the bone cannot be strengthened, because you know that parathyroid hormone function is to control the level of calcium in the body. So if the calcium level is not correct, so it will affect the bone formation in your body. Alright, so that's it. Okay, now so I just have 1 minute, so I think we stop here. Okay, so I'm not sure, because I think this Zoom provided by UPM actually just give 40 minutes for each session. Okay, so I just have 40 minutes actually for each lecture if done in online. Okay, that's why for 2 hours lecture, I don't think possible to use Zoom. Okay, for 1 hour lecture, I think it should be okay, right? So we have 40 minutes out of 60 minutes, still acceptable. But for 2 hours lecture, no Zoom. We will do face to face. Okay. All right. So that's all for today. Okay, I will put the attendance on the on the Putra Blast. Please sign the attendance. I just like to remind you, your attendance is very important. Okay, I don't want to have a case student cannot sit for the final exam. Okay, even you sit for final exam, still your mark cannot be keyed in. Okay, so I don't want that situation, because at the end of the day, you will come see me and ask me to let you enter the final exam. I don't want that situation. Okay, actually because I have explained the problem. Okay, when he cannot enter the exam, then he start bothering me. Okay, asking my highness to let him to enter the exam. But once I put him into the final exam, still the mark cannot be entered. It's cannot be in. So no point. Okay. So the